really don't like backseat drivers. We don't like the idea of somebody telling us what to do without assuming the risk themselves of actually doing it. We want the person to walk a mile in our shoes before actually telling us what to do with our lives. We want them to have been there, done that, and got that t-shirt. And we listen to people like that, right? We listen to people who actually do it, who actually have done what we want to do. We listen to them. Sometimes, maybe a lot of times, we see God as the backseat driver. He wants to tell us what to do with our lives without actually assuming the risk of living a life himself. He wants to tell us, do this and don't do this. Talk to this person, don't talk to this person. Hang out with these people, don't hang out with these people. Go here, don't go there. And we think, God, would you just stop? You're being a backseat driver. You are wanting to tell me what to do without living the life that I have to live. But the writer of Hebrews tells us it's different. In fact, the writer of Hebrews tells us that this is one of the ways that he is more superior than even the angels. He writes this: long ago, at many times in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets. He said, yeah, there was a day when God spoke to us from a distance, that he just spoke to us through prophets. Yes, that's not the most powerful way to speak. Think of it this way. At work or in class or wherever you might be, if you tell a coworker, hey, can you go tell John, I need the spreadsheet by 5. Do you think the spreadsheet's going to get done? Maybe, maybe not. Why? That's not the most powerful way to communicate. It is more powerful to actually go to John yourself and say, I need the spreadsheet by 5. It is important to get this project through to the next level. If I get the spreadsheet done, or if I get the spreadsheet by 5, it is more powerful to actually step in his office and say, I need it done. And the writer of Hebrews says, yes, there was a day that God spoke, and it was powerful, but that is not the most powerful way to speak. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son. He didn't just leave it to speaking through somebody to us. God himself came to this earth in order to speak to us. And the amazing thing is, all the things that he was telling the prophets that he wanted out of our life, those things he did perfectly in his real life. The writer of Hebrews goes on to describe this in many different ways throughout his letter. And one of the ways that he described it is this. He says, for because he himself, being Jesus, has suffered when tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted. Have you been tempted? Are you even being tempted right now or in the past few minutes? Jesus knows what it's like to have been tempted and to get through it and to live a perfect life, the life that God wants to live. And the most amazing thing about this is that is not only did he live this perfect life, it isn't that Jesus now sits in heaven going, na 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 na, I did it better than you. You just try and live up to my standards. Ha 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 ha. No, absolutely not. Is that he now wants in our life today to live the real life that he lived. We looked at that briefly last week, that he allows us to be partakers in his divine nature. This is something that not even the angels did. They're not living a real life here on earth. They never did. But God himself spoke in a more powerful way by living the life that we are intended to live. And now we get the chance to live that life. Keep reading Hebrews this week. Take a look at how faith plays out in real life. And we're going to keep looking at how Jesus is superior than anything else, including the angels.